Hello and welcome. I'm Lindsay Crane, and these are my retro craft dreams, and this is now 2025. Happy New Year! Again, a little late. I don't know if I'm ever going to be on time with these things. How was your 2024? Mine went a little off the rails. I was originally going to look at all of the goals that I made a year ago and see how I did for each one, but I so roundly failed nearly all of them that it's really not worth it. I think I basically forgot about most of them. So we're gonna try this again. All of the things that I said I wanted to do last year, I still want to do, but clearly putting emphasis on them doesn't help. But before we get to my, I don't want to say goals. I don't want to say plans either. I feel like that's setting myself up for failure again. Ideas? Before we get to my ideas for how I hope 2025 will go, let's have a look at 2024. Last year I made a montage of all of the projects that I had completed the prior year, which was a huge morale boost. And if you do any editing, I highly suggest you do that for yourself. It felt good. So we're going to do that again. And I will meet you right back here and we will talk about 2025. I'll be back in 2 and 2. Roll that beautiful craft footage. Say hi. Say Happy New Year to the people. Say Happy New Year. There he is. Here's my little bag of trouble. Well, what did I achieve from my goals list last year? I did finish the Christmas presents that I had started. I did not start any of the additional ones I had hoped to make. I also really haven't tackled anything from my box of I Don't Wanna. I did pull one thing out and I have it next to my chair so I could pick it up and start sewing on it. And every time I go to do that, I realize that I actually need to cut pieces at the table. And, that's when I pick it up is not when I'm ready to go cut in the other room. So I keep forgetting about that. I need to get on that because it should probably not take me very long. Yeah, hi. I did also have my Barbie outfit on the list. I got a much later start to that than I wanted to, but I did get it started. I did not, however, finish it yet. There are still 2 more pieces to that outfit, and there's gonna be a third video because I'm gonna... Why are you biting me? Ow! Why are you like this? And there's gonna be a third video, probably because I have some fixes that I need to make. So I'm going to still finish that. I'm probably going to wait till spring because I like to do my garment reveals outside often. And at least this one needs to be outside and it's cold out. So we're going to wait till spring to finish up Barbie. That's assuming people, well, I'll finish it either way, but I kind of am wondering if people even want to see it. I don't know. Maybe you don't. My last Barbie video really has not gotten any attention at all. And I was really surprised by that because I thought it was going to be the most fun one. It's the most interesting piece in the whole outfit. Although I did put it out the day before Thanksgiving. So I don't know. Maybe I missed the Barbie train. Probably. I mean, I know I did because of the actors' strike. When everybody was doing their Barbie outfits, I had to pause mine. But I'm still going to finish these videos anyway. I guess they're just going to have to tank if you don't want to see them. I'm sorry, but I have to finish what I started. And maybe when the whole outfit's done, people will get it. But that was a goal on my list, and I did at least make some progress on it. So half a win, I guess. Big disappointment in myself. Not only did I fail to do more needlepoint this year, I also failed to finish or even start the stitch along that I have been promising for well over a year, and I am so sorry. I really want to do this, and I just keep hitting this technical snag that I'm having so much trouble figuring out. Basically, I don't want to make you seasick. Not only are my hands shaky when I stitch, like that's kind of unavoidable, but also my table is shaky, my tripod is shaky, my craft stand is shaky, and everything just shakes. It's kind of okay in a montage where you're just watching me stitch a little bit, but when I'm trying to demonstrate stitches, having any of those components shaky, it's really not good. And I'm really struggling to figure out how to stabilize everything. And I don't have the budget to go buy fancy, sturdier craft stands and tripods and things. I did buy one additional clamp. I still need to do some more experimenting with it. But this is going to be my priority this year. This is like top of my list. I really want to get this going. And, the stitch along piece in general, like the piece that I want to make, is something I've had in my mind for at least 3 years now, since before I even started this channel. It was kind of one of the things that was pushing me along in doing vintage and retro crafts. So yeah, kind of disappointed in myself for failing that again. Although, again, there was a reason for that, but I should have worked harder to resolve it sooner. And I don't have any excuse for that, but I'm still going to make it happen. It's still going to happen. I just can't promise on the timing, but it's top of my list. I'm really hoping to do it like right out of the gate this year. Out of all of my goals, doing more needlepoint is moving up to the top. Because I want that, many of you want that, and I'm gonna do what I gotta do, I guess. I'm gonna figure something out. Hi, buddy. You gotta quit chewing on my fingers. It don't feel good. No. Didn't you get your bites out already when you chewed a piece off of one of my blocking mats? Little puzzle blocking mats. You chewed a puzzle edge right off it. Panicked a little until I found the piece on the floor. I thought he ate it. Little kaiju. My other goals included making more clothes, knitting an 80s sweater, looking into craft fairs, a website, putting out patterns, and more social media content. Yeah, I'm pretty much right where I started on all of those. I made Barbie clothes, but I can't wear them out of the house yet anyway. The last piece I made, the peplum, not wearing that out of the house at all. And then the other pieces I made are ones that I need to fix. So I can't wear them out of the house yet either. Also, I don't want to wear them until the whole thing is done and I have the reveal footage because they're very white. and I don't want to risk anything happening to them. You hearing him breathe? Probably the mic's right there. So, are you getting down? Go that way. Okay. The social media, I don't know what it is. I can't. I think it has something to do with how specific a lot of these sites are. Like, I can't post a text bit on Instagram. I have to have a nice, shiny, perfect picture. Like, otherwise nobody's going to see it. And that also just the fact that there's really no reach on that platform anymore. It's kind of hard to want to put anything out there. But again, the pressure of like how polished the content needs to be. And I am terrible. I mean, I just blocked a shawl last night and I totally forgot to take a picture of it pre-blocking. You know, I don't know. I don't get the pictures. I did make a Blue Sky account and I posted a little bit on Christmas, not really craft related. And I feel a little bit more like that's going to be easier to post to because I don't have to restrict posts to a specific form of content or fitting into specific rules, as with like Reddit. And unlike, say, Mastodon, there's actually people there looking for people to follow. That may not last, but I already have more followers there than my channel, Instagram, or Mastodon. Granted, they're probably going to unfollow me again when they realize I'm not following them back. But still, you know, at least it feels a little bit more lively. Let's see, what else? I also really struggle with short form video because I don't watch short form videos. And so it's hard for me to know what they should really be. And I should probably be a better content creator and watch them as a form of research, but it's just really not something I can tolerate, honestly. I mean, I've watched one here and there when they're like long form creators that are doing little snippets, and I'm probably going to end up doing something like that if I can ever manage it, but it's just such a different beast from my regular long form content that it's hard to figure out. I don't know. I'm working on it. I don't know what it is about social media. I just can't remember to do it. It's never become part of any routine for me. I don't know. We'll see. So while all of these goals are getting rolled over into 2025, I think I'm just going to pick a couple to emphasize. Primarily, as I said, the needlepoint and the stitch along specifically. I need to make good on that. And I really want to. I was starting, but then I looked at the footage I was getting and I couldn't do that to you. So I'm going to figure it out though. It's going to be one of my top priorities. And then also the 80s sweater. I've really been feeling the knitting lately. And I do go through phases of what craft I'm favoring at any given moment. And right now I've just really been favoring knitting. Now I can't do it all the time. This isn't going to be an all knitting channel. My finger would protest because I get yarn burn really easy. I don't know if I tension it that tight, but yeah, I have collected so many 80s sweater patterns and so much yarn. I really need to start using some of these. I've actually been working on a way to catalog all of my knitting patterns so that it can be a little bit easier to go through them and match them up with my yarn. So I'm using Notion, basically making my own personal Ravelry. I did actually just download my yarn database from Ravelry and imported it into Notion for a starting point. But now I'm putting in all of my patterns, which is a lot more difficult to do on Ravelry because a lot of these patterns aren't on Ravelry. And there's also like question about whether I can even put the photo of the pattern there. So I've got it on my own, but then I can also add other details. So yeah, I've been working on that and I think it's going to make it much easier to figure out what I can make with what I already have and find shopping lists for what I want to make. If you want to see any of that in a video, let me know. It's gonna be a long-term project because I am putting in like every single pattern from this magazine, which is, can I flip through it? Full of patterns. I'm putting in each one individually into my Notion, which has taken me like 4 days just for that one magazine. But the bonus, once it's done, like I've got patterns in books and leaflets and loose, but mostly it's the ones in books and magazines that I forget that they're there. And so being able to see each single one individually all on one page, I can narrow down by, the yarn weight required, the amounts required, and pare down that way. Yeah, it's going to be good. It's just going to take a really long time to do all that data entry. So, yes, sweaters, 80 sweaters. That's one of my top priorities this year too. And I'm gonna get at least one sweater done. Think I've got one already ready to go. I just need to do it. Yeah. And also, I have my new knitting machine, and I really want to utilize that at least a little bit. I have been looking at since I have been looking at a lot of my patterns, there are many that I'm probably not going to be able to do on the machine. But I also am working on a video doing some swatching, and that will also tell me how likely it is that I'll be able to knit any of these sweaters on that machine, because getting gauge, is a little trickier. Fear not, I'm still gonna sprinkle in lots of other crafts in between, and I've got some others that I've got some other new things that I've been wanting to try for a really long time, and I've got kits that I've had in my stash for a while, and I just need to get to them. So hopefully I'll get more of those done this year too. But I'm not putting that on the goals list, because that's just asking for trouble, I guess. Okay, moving on. We're getting to the exciting part. Now, there is one more goal that I didn't set at New Year, but I did say in my first crafter's log that this was something I wanted to do. And it's kind of the point of the crafter's log. And that is the fact that I've long been a monogamous crafter, just working on one thing, finishing it before I can focus on another thing. Great for when you want to make sure you finish things. Not so great for when you always want to have something to work on, especially if you are a YouTuber who needs to film the things that you're working on, but you can't film. So I made the goal of just starting more projects and having a lot more things on the go, and I did succeed in that. I still haven't started every project that I laid out in my crafter's log videos. And if you're interested in that, you can follow on those. So far there's only 2, and it seems to be kind of a 6-month thing. But I do have my English paper piecing project. I have actually 3 crochet projects, granny crochet projects that are all going. I did add in a knitting project that I just finished like yesterday. It's not part of the crafter's log. It's just like, I allowed myself to start a new thing, and then I also finished it. So that is kind of a win, although it just means I have more projects lying around. So despite the feeling that I didn't finish a lot last year, that doesn't mean I haven't been making a lot. So that's always a good thing to remember. And finally, the exciting part. I also, as a side note, had said that I would like to reach 1,000 subscribers in 2024. I didn't. I failed. But I did reach it on January 3rd, 2025. So welcome to all of my new subscribers. I am so glad that you're here. And I'm trying to find a way to celebrate. And I don't really know how to do that. From YouTubers I've followed in the past, I've seen a lot of them. I think most often a lot of them do Q&As. So if you want a Q&A, let me know that below. I was trying to think of other options that you could vote on, but I'm not sure that I've come up with anything that I can do right now. I think some people have done live streams. I don't think I know how to do that. So I don't think I can have a live stream as an option. Also, I'm really long-winded, and you might just not want to see me unedited. Sorry. And there's also giveaways, but I feel like I want to save a giveaway for if and when this channel monetizes, which I'm still quite a ways away from that. And if I did a giveaway anyway, at this point, it would just be the duplicates of some craft stuff that I have. And I don't even know if you'd want that. So I kind of want to save a giveaway for later. I also don't actually know how to do that either, but I feel like that would be a little bit easier to figure out than technical aspects of a live stream. But there's got to be other options besides Q&A. If you have any more ideas, do let me know. I mean, this is a celebration because you're here. So it's about you, and I want you to have a say in what we do. If I get enough ideas that I think I can do, I will probably make a poll in a community post. Otherwise, I'll make a post asking for your questions if that's what you want. So yeah, if you want a Q&A, let me know. And if you've got other ideas, let me know those ideas as well. And watch the community tab for an update on what we're going to do. And I'm just so happy that you're here. To recap, last year's goals, this year's goals are last year's goals, but with an emphasis on just a couple of them, focusing on needlepoint and the stitch along and knitting 80s sweaters, whether by hand or on my knitting machine. I am also hoping to monetize this channel so that I can devote more time to it. And to that end, I'm trying to come up with goodies and things that I can put on my Ko-fi page for you. I do have some cross-stitch patterns that I actually finished a couple of years ago, but I still need to stitch new samples of them. I'd also like to come up with some perks to offer should anyone like to support me there. And if you have any ideas on what you would like to see, you can let me know that below. And even if direct support is not an option for you or just not what you want to do, no pressure, that's fine. You can still help me monetize and grow this channel just by watching and sharing my videos with others you think will enjoy them. Because what I lack is watch time. So if you enjoy what I do, watch some videos, give them a thumbs up, share them with others who you think will also enjoy them, and let YouTube know that I shouldn't be invisible anymore. Yeah? Maybe? But regardless of all that, I am so glad that you are here now. And I hope 2025 goes a little bit more smoothly than 2024. We'll see. So with that, I think we're gonna call it on this New Year's video. I'm not making any new solid goals. I think clearly putting emphasis, putting pressure on a specific goal really just doesn't help me. This is why I don't do goals in general. So, Happy New Year, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye. Last year's goals. I can't blow raspberries anymore. There we go. I'm trying not to make it a juicy raspberry. To recap, last year's goals. That was really juicy.